During this lesson we're going to sketch orthographic and isometric views of a house shape. You're going to draw 4 isometric views of this shape as well as the orthographic views, looking at the front, the top and both sides. When you've completed this drawing it will look like this. Okay, we're just going to draw a baseline for the shape, but I'll quickly go to the top of the page to make sure that the baseline is nice and parallel to the top. So when I turn the page like this, it's nice and horizontal. Now I'm going to draw vertical lines up that will be the outside of the shape and give the width. And then I'm going to estimate this into a square. So ghosting over the bottom and then deciding on the height to make it into a square crate that the house fits inside. Now I'm just going to split this square crate up down the middle, as you can see. So ghosting over the top and drawing a parallel line down the middle just to give me a halfway mark, and then I actually want 3/4 up, so I'm just going to find halfway of that halfway, which gives me a quarter way down. Identify the middle of the top line and then go from point to point to rehearse the straight line so that I can get the pitch of the roof on this side. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Again, just using the point-to-point technique to rehearse the line, so when I do draw it in, I know it'll be nice and straight and even. Next I'll just draw in the detail lines so that the shape stands out from the square crate it's drawn inside. Next I'm going to draw the plan view, the view looking from above. So the first thing I'm going to do is project these width lines up as construction lines. They should be nice and parallel. And then I'll decide on the space between the two views. So I've just ghosted over the top line so they're nice and parallel, and again this is going to be in effectively a cube shaped crate, so it's nice and square from the top, and then the ridge line of the house needs to be shown on the plan as well. Then we can detail these lines in. Now we're going to draw the right hand end elevation. So the first thing is we'll project that baseline across horizontally, and again the top of the view, the height of the house, project that across nice and parallel so that it's a horizontal line. Now I'm going to use the technique where I estimate this 45-degree line, as you can see, and this is going to help me construct that end elevation by projecting across those two heights from the plan, and then once they hit that 45-degree line I can project down, as you can see here, and that construction has given me the outline of the end elevation. All I need to do now is to draw that line where the roof hits the wall, as you can see. Now I'm ready to detail those lines in. Right, we're going to use the same technique again, looking from this time the left hand side. For the end elevation, we're going to project a construction line on horizontally across at the bottom for the baseline and horizontally across at the top for the height of the view. And in exactly the same way as we did before, we're going to project a line at 45 degrees from this point up, as you can see, so that we can project the sizes of the plan across here and here until we hit that 45-degree line, and then we're going to project down, just ghosting over one of the lines to get a nice parallel line for our projection lines. And you can see here we've constructed the outline of the end elevation, and again we'll just project across with a construction line sketched in, so we've got the line where the roof meets the wall. Again, just detail your lines in. Right, now we're ready to draw the isometric views. So we'll start at the bottom left hand corner of the page, and the first thing we'll do is we'll just get a horizontal line. So draw that horizontal line at the bottom, and then we'll draw the vertical line that will be the leading edge of the shape or of the crate that the shape's drawn inside. An important factor to drawing isometric views well is a good estimate of the 30-degree line. If we look at these two lines, the horizontal and the vertical line, we know that they're 90 degrees apart. If we split this up into 3, in other words 30, 30, 30. We're interested in the lower 30-degree line. So now you're going to draw in that good estimate of a 30-degree line to the right and to the left-hand side of that intersection. Now you're going to decide on the width of the box that you're drawing. So we'll just ghost over there. And once we've decided on the width, this is a cube shape, so it should look even on both sides. Once you've got the width, you need to decide on the height. So once I've got the height, I'm going to ghost over the bottom line to make sure it's as parallel as possible to the top line, and I ghost over both sides to make sure both top edges are nice and parallel. Once we've done that, we can get the back edges using that same ghosting technique that you can see here, just going over them to make sure they're parallel. Now we're going to use exactly the same construction method as we did for the elevation. So finding the middle point, I'm going to ghost over there and just draw in the middle and then split that in half again, like we did at the top for the elevation. Find the ridge of the roof, the apex, and then just use that point-to-point technique to draw that line in there, and the point-to-point technique to draw the line in here, as you can see. And we'll just change the construction lines to detail lines so that they stand out. Next, we're ready to project the corners back, as you can see here. So just ghosting over this edge of the crate down onto the edge of the actual shape, getting the line parallel with the top of the roof in the same way, and again on that back edge that you can see there, doing the same. And again, what we'll do is we'll just ghost over this line, and then we're just going from these 2 points over here, and using that parallel line we'll just create the final back edge of the roof, and then just draw in the detail lines that we haven't filled out yet. Okay, now we'll just draw the second view, but with a different orientation, so we're looking at a different angle, starting the same way with the baseline, and then moving the page so that we get a perpendicular line that will be the leading edge, and in the same way getting a good estimate of our 30-degree lines in both directions. Once we've established the width of the shape, we'll ghost over the leading edge so we get nice parallel vertical lines on both sides. Again, we'll just figure out the height of the shape. Remember, it's inside a cube, and so we'll just ghost over these lines just to get really good parallel lines. Same here, ghosting, and then drawing in that back line. Same technique where we just ghost over to get a parallel line which we know is 30 degrees. Now that's going to be the gable side of the shape this time. So again, ghosting over, estimating the middle so that we can get that parallel line, then we'll split that half into half again to get our quarter. Mark out the point in the middle for the top of the roof, and then just go point to point. Once we're happy, we'll commit to that line, as you can see. Always turning the page to get your best straight line, so just point to point and then commit. Once we've got that done, we can draw in the detail lines. Okay, just a quicker run through on this one. So our horizontal line and then our leading edge perpendicular above, and then our 30-degree lines, deciding on the width of the shape, and again ghosting to get nice parallel lines to turn that into a cube-shaped crate. Again, this one's going to be toppled on its side, so we're going to use the top surface there to get the halfway point and then split that in half, and again drawing in the apex of the roof and the details, and then just projecting down this time, so ghosting over those vertical lines to complete the shape, as you can see here. Now the final isometric view, same routine with the horizontal line, the leading edge vertically up, and our 30 degrees, and then just in exactly the same way constructing the crate that the shape fits inside, using ghosting techniques to get parallel lines, and this time on the top the apex or the point of the roof will be facing away from us, and get the halfway point, and the halfway from there point, and just having the top of the roof there and drawing in all the detail lines as you can see here. And again, just to finish off the drawing, we'll shade in the right hand facing surfaces just to give the overall drawing a bit more impact and bring the shapes together.